Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, in an interview on Tuesday with Bloomberg, Kraken CEO Jesse Powell claimed that Layer 2 solutions will in time make Bitcoin as easy to use as the US dollar. In addition to improvements in Bitcoin's utilitarian nature, Powell suggested that the eventual timing of institutional investors getting on board would rely on a herd mentality and recommended Bitcoin as a hedge against the US's Federal Reserve's current manipulation of the dollar. Powell trumpeted Bitcoin's success as a store of value. The predictable nature of issuance has seen many flock to Bitcoin as a hedge against traditional asset classes, and Powell suggested that long-term he believed it would surpass gold. He said, however, just like gold and even cash, he said that people would need to transfer physical, or would not need to transfer physical Bitcoin on the blockchain. Cash apps such as PayPal and Venmo allow movement of fiat currencies in non-physical form, and Layer 2 solutions will, in time, provide easy-to-use tools to similarly interact with Bitcoin, he said. And I do quote, "Pretty soon, all of the technology behind Bitcoin will just disappear, and it'll be just like the US dollar where no one really understands how it works, but everyone uses it." I'm pretty sure a lot of people get how the US dollar works. Powell continued that the past 3 months have seen a massive influx of new accounts from all types of investors, hedge funds, wealth managers, retail investors, and day traders. However, the long-promised flood of institutional investment will rely on a herd mentality. Many institutional investors are already here. If you've been paying attention to the last news that we've been getting over the last year, it's clear that they're here. There's a lot of them are just buying over the counter, so prices won't activate as quickly as many people might assume. The revelations of respected fund managers, such as Paul Tudor Jones, who said that up to 2% of his portfolio was in Bitcoin, will encourage others to come on board, eventually building to a critical mass of institutional players. Of course, as time goes on, of course, we're going to get more people. This is what propels the price rapidly high. It's going to be a lot of the FOMOers who are going to be the people who get us to that glorious $500,000 Bitcoin, but that's, in the future. I've been hearing for some reason, and I'm not sure if this is just maybe my mind is just picking up on it right now, or maybe this is something that's actually happening behind the scenes that's going to be coming to fruition relatively soon. But a lot of talk about Layer 2 solutions and other side chains have really picked up over the last it's been about 2 weeks right now that I keep hearing and seeing, and even on podcasts and stuff like that, people are talking about the next level of Bitcoin or things that will be happening behind the scenes. Even a lot of we were also discussing before that a lot of people these things are already in the works. As far as something like the Lightning Network or other solutions where other transactions for Bitcoin will happen kind of off-chain, and then once a cumulative amount of these transactions have kind of been resolved, they'll kind of link into the main chain, to the core, and then they'll resolve the transactions there, which then allows Bitcoin off-chain to have, tens of thousands of transactions per second just on that one Layer 2 solution. At the same exact time, when you're resolving the transactions, it comes through as one transaction on the Bitcoin blockchain. So it's kind of fascinating. Anyway, yeah, a lot of discussion about this. Of course, logically, this is going to happen, but I feel is something happening relatively soon that I'm simply just missing? Why did that person walk by the banana peel? Why is there banana peel there? Anyway, cool. Logically, yes. That's how technology works. Do you remember computers in the year 1999? And I was going to say in the 80s. We didn't have computers, did we then? Remember the old Nintendo and how video games look now? Of course, technology is going to make Bitcoin a lot better. Just a matter of time. Why did I say Nintendo? All right, let's move on. Wow, I totally did not see this news coming. Coinbase users removed over $200 million worth of Bitcoin from Coinbase after it offered to license its analytics platform to the IRS and the DEA. Wow, did not see that coming. After Coinbase offered to license its analytics platform to the Internal Revenue Service and the Drug Enforcement Administration, the users of the exchange removed over $200 million worth of Bitcoin. The exchange claimed it will only be providing the IRS and the DEA with streamlined access to publicly available data. However, according to the exchange, they won't have access to any internal or customer data. So what information are you giving them? What logical information are you giving them? Information that this movement happened on the blockchain? They can see that logically themselves. Why would a cryptocurrency exchange be offering information to the IRS or the DEA? If they're going to be getting publicly available information, they can just simply look at the blockchain. Like, you can go to, what is it? Is it blockchain.com? There are tons of different websites. You can find, like, you can see the transactions happening. This is how we know when there's like a backlog of transactions, because it's all publicly available. So what extra would the IRS or the DEA need from you that they couldn't already have publicly available as a cryptocurrency exchange that holds the information from millions of people around the world? The users feel like their privacy is being violated, or might be violated if the deal with the federal agencies pushes through. Since the US-based crypto exchange announced its offer to the DEA and IRS, more than 25,500 Bitcoin worth over $200 million has been withdrawn or sent to a different wallet. Coinbase's government offer has caused many of its customers to remove their funds, stop using the exchange, and publicly denounce the exchange with the hashtag boycott Coinbase. The move by Coinbase was criticized by many in the crypto community. Remember, I keep saying so many of these people, and I mean even Coinbase right now, I don't know if you saw the last video, Coinbase has a thing where they keep adding coins that no one's asking for. That's an entirely different conversation. The problem right now is there's compliance, there's AML, there's KYC, and then there's pretty much just completely handing over customer information, which is only going, and this is me just logically speaking, you know, this is how the world works. When people don't like one thing, they move to another. And this is why we're seeing an uptick in the amount of people who are using decentralized exchanges, or simply logically even moving over to Binance. I think Binance has like a daily withdrawal limit normally of, I think, 2 Bitcoin. That's roughly around 20,000 without actually going through any of the other proper steps. I assume this will only continue as more time has gone on. It's very frustrating because when people get into the cryptocurrency space, hey, use Coinbase. Coinbase is the, you know, that's the easiest place to go, but I assume money has completely shielded all of their eyes. It kind of is what it is. But anyway, yeah, $200 million gone from Coinbase. I assume this will go on because this will probably, assumption time, not be their last blog post where they're going to be telling people that they're going to be working with. Like just imagine how dangerous it is. Like, the people within the cryptocurrency space, the point of being in crypto is to kind of, you know, be your own bank, be your own money boss, whatever, what have you, so on and so forth. A lot of this information is very corruptible. Like, imagine what cryptocurrency exchanges, the power that they would have if people are using them, and they can give this information to government leaders in totalitarian states who would use this information to throw people behind bars. It's a very dangerous slope, and I don't think they get that, and I don't think they care about it, because usually by the point you're worth several billion dollars, what have you, you just really don't care about the little people anymore. If you look at what Coinbase was when they first opened, Coinbase was a place to get everyone into this decentralized world, and it's way past any of that at this point. Anyway, that's the Coinbase news. Sure. And let's move on. Next up, here's a really good one. The World Economic Forum, or the WEF, is trialing a blockchain transparency project with the Colombian government in order to fight corruption in South America. Okay, a report published today says that along with the Inter-American Development Bank and the Office of the Inspector General of Colombia, the World Economic Forum will use the Ethereum public blockchain to create a proof of concept, a trial to test the design idea to combat corruption. The idea is that by using the Ethereum blockchain, the Colombian government will be able to make corruption-prone government processes more transparent. They will start by focusing on the Programa de Alimentación Escolar, or PAE, a public school meal program. Corruption has long plagued most of the world. The country's government has itself estimated that corruption costs, oh my gosh, $18 billion per year. The school meal program has likely been chosen by the WEF, as such benefits have previously been stolen in the country. In 2016, a food company was accused of embezzling funds for school meals in one of Colombia's poorest provinces. You know how much of a terrible person you have to be to steal food from kids? You have to be wicked. Like, you have to actually have not even a moral compass. Like, you're just not even... That's absolutely... I understand now why they're trying to do this. What? Who does that? Who steals money? How would you feel as a human being, like just deep down inside, if you had stolen millions of dollars from a school meal program? Anyway, the news to be had is that they're going to be using Ethereum. They're doing it with a trial. I assume, like many other countries, this is now what is like number 15. For those of you who haven't been keeping track, tons of countries around the world are all using Ethereum. They're writing laws on it. They're putting scholastic food program things on top of it. So this will probably continue. This seems to be a very obvious trend of Bitcoin being purchased by the wealthiest people on the planet. And multiple governments now announcing that they're going to be testing and or using or putting things on top of Ethereum. So follow I was gonna say follow the breadcrumbs, but it seems a little bad taste with the school food program. I'm getting angry. Anyway, yeah, that's the Colombia Ethereum lunch money news. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let's move on. Next up, Kraken, one of the world's largest exchanges by trade volume, is extending its services down under. Oh, I get it. The California headquartered firm announced on Wednesday it would be opening operations in Sydney, Australia, with local clients able to fund their accounts in AUDs, or Australian dollars. The exchange said it would offer instant funds to those users who make deposits via OXO, I guess that's OKSO, OXO, and Pay ID-enabled Australian bank accounts. The new addition marks the 7th national currency in Kraken's fiat on-ramps, joining the US dollar, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, the euro, British pound, and Japanese yen. They said we're thrilled to be launching Kraken's Australia... Oh, okay, it's called... wow. It's called Kraken Australia. Today, at a time when Australian investors increasingly turn towards cryptocurrencies to diversify their portfolios, users of Kraken Australia will be able to execute trades in Australian dollars against Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, ZERP, Bcash, and Tether. General users based outside the US will be able to add AUD against USD, the euro, and Japanese yen. Cool. Wonderful. That's absolutely awesome. I mean, it was logically going to happen at some point. I feel like Australia's usually not in the crypto conversation. We usually get that exchanges have opened in Europe, in the UK, and like Brazil, Canada, the US, maybe Singapore. Australia's not usually there, so good job, Kraken, on entering that field. Anyway, cool. It was bound to happen eventually. But yeah, we never really get much Australia crypto news. All right, let's move on. Binance is in the news. On Wednesday, Reuters reported that Binance is preparing to launch, later this summer, a new dedicated crypto platform for people in the UK. According to reports by Reuters, this platform was designed to allow both institutional and retail investors to buy and sell cryptocurrencies using pounds and euros, and it will be regulated by the UK Financial Conduct Authority. The report went on to say that Binance is considering up to 65 coins for the launch, Apparently, Binance's upcoming UK platform will support deposit and withdrawals for buying and selling of crypto via the UK's faster payment service for pounds and single euro payments area, SEPA, which is a payment integration initiative of the European Union for simplification of bank transfers. Yes, sure. Denominated in euros. Tiana Baker-Taylor, who joined Binance as its UK director in the 6th of May, told Reuters, interest and participation in the UK digital asset market is growing, not just in depth with its current participants, but also in breadth. All right, so this was relatively popular news. Binance is launching a dedicated UK platform. I assume this has to go with Binance US. I think it's the UK, the US. There's like two other places. They're a bit harder when it comes to cryptocurrency regulation. So this, I mean, makes sense when Binance is launching their own dedicated platform. This would assume or mean that Binance has received mail, news from the UK government that what they're doing is, I don't want to use the I word. It's probably not illegal, but they probably want to know exactly what's going on only within Binance UK without having to shuffle through the entirety of the cryptocurrency exchanges transactions. I mean, we're here. We know that regulation is present or omnipresent at this point. So I mean, if nothing else, the silver lining is that more people within the UK will have a dedicated place to be able to get into the cryptocurrency space. Maybe this was holding a couple of people back, like 5 people who were looking for, even we wow, that was a lot of wheeze. We heard about this before in 2018 and 19. A lot of people actually didn't like using a cryptocurrency exchange that wasn't within their borders, because if something could happen and their funds were lost, Mount Gox, they wanted to be able to go to a door, knock on it, and say, hey, where's my money? So, sure. Good job, Binance, on your next launch. Is there a date for this? May. There's a Binance UK virtual meetup. Oh, that passed. Okay, well, I assume soon. We're summer now, basically in summer. Like 2 days until the... Anyway, good job, Binance. And let's move on. And to finish things off, earlier today, the team at Ripple announced that the company was joining the newly formed Open Payments Coalition. The latter is an organization created and made up of leading technology, finance, and non-profit companies who share a vision of interoperability between payment networks. Key to this goal is the launch of PayID, a free and open standard that allows for easy communication and settlement of transactions between payment networks. Of the Open Payment Coalition include Bit, BNS, BitGo, BitPay, BitTrue, Bitso. Not reading all these names. The Care Block, the Giving Block, the GoPay, Huobi, Independent, Mercury, Polysign, Standard, Unstoppable Domains. All right. PayID was created with the user in mind. It will allow individuals to send and receive money across any payment network via an easy-to-read address that will act as a universal payment identifier. PayID aims at reducing the hurdles many individuals face when sending funds across different platforms and the fees associated with the process. With PayID, sending payments will be as easy as sending an email. Wonderful. The SVP of Spring at Ripple, Ethan Beard, further explained that the time was right for interoperability amongst payment networks. He said, the next payments network should be open, like the web, where any company can participate just by building your service on the network. PayID is the beginning of building an open payments network that is designed for simple people, and simplifies the experience of sending or receiving money. Wow. Building the open payment network that simplifies payment process will accelerate the growth and adoption of digital payments for everyone around the globe. So I assume this is they're not saying it. They're saying it, but they're not saying it. This is the creation of the third-party network. I think many of these are cryptocurrency exchanges. It appears for regulatory reasons. I'm surprised Coinbase isn't here. Yeah. For all trends, so it's a couple of things. When transactions are happening between me, you, he, she, it, all of us, governments want to know where these transactions are going. The idea is to, in the future, have a completely interoperable system where all of these names and many more are completely linked, so you can kind of send between platforms and send as easily. And you know, it's the same exact way if you're on a website, if you're on YouTube and you hold down on the screen and you copy and paste it and send it to your friend, like there's no real friction between you sending something across different platforms, across different phones. Like it's kind of just all the internet, if you kind of want to say that. But then at the same exact time, it also creates a platform where when transactions are happening, they're not really just simply between me and you. They have to pass by another third party in the middle to make sure that not only the payments are happening, it's kind of who they came from. And I assume that's where the launch of the Pay ID is from as well. Like I said, they're saying it without saying it. It's a way to keep order and to be compliant, but they sure as heck made sure not to use the word centralized and or third party, which is basically what it is. So I mean, it just is what it is. You can't really. I mean, it's not that you can't knock it or go against it. You most certainly can. That is your right to do so. But the constant word of interoperability, as far as regulatorily, keeps popping up over and over again, because the original idea of interoperability across crypto chains was pretty much like atomic swaps. So you're able to swap between any coin at will with no real third party needed, or, you know, just using a smart contract, which is also on a decentralized platform. But this is something a little different. Anyway, yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I do hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, or great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.